let's go.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snow drop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Now boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need a G-Wagon. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
This is not about freedom. I'll use my power to get them out of the way. Come on.
I got hairy legs.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Whoa, normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 25 Hundo and Schwam of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexin' on all you beaches.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, it's a fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina line.
What's going on, fam? Welcome to the show, and drop in the comments down below what you are smashing today. Happy Sunday. It's March the Dose, and we are fresh off our Swole Slut Signature Series Saturday. Is that 5? Swole Slut Signature Series Saturday. Yesterday, we had P3S6, a resounding success. Everyone that wanted one was able to get one, so that's fantastic. And those will be going out in the near future. P3S6, very excited for everyone that grabbed that, so look forward to that. It's going to be fire. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait till you start receiving it and taking pictures. It's going to be awesome. All right, so that's done. That was yesterday. And we'll get some questions, so you can start dropping your questions in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. But before we do, reminder, tomorrow our episode is private for members only. And that's going to be at 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow, Monday, March 13th. Oh, very nice. Oh, my God. Just holding that for a little bit. Tomorrow, Monday, March 13th at 12 noon. And that will be awesome. So we're going to have some new releases. We'll have some new apparel releases, some launches. We'll take a private member Q&A. So if you don't get your question answered today, for members only, 12 noon, we will be having our accountability meeting. Tomorrow, 12 noon, the episode will be private. Join the fam today. Learn more in the show notes and description down below, swolenormousx.com, to get access to all the private live streams. That being said, let's get the Swole card exposed and get into today's Q&A. It's going to be fire. So without further ado, fam, drop in the comments. What are you smashing today? And let's summon the Falcon. Falcon. Oh yeah, getting back to some custom cards. Hashtag laying bricks, fam. Laying bricks, we were talking about this yesterday. I talk about this all the time. You need to lay bricks every day. It's coats of paint. It's just about doing what you need to get done every single day, one after another. So it's another brick in the wall. So hashtag laying bricks. We're bricklayers today, fam. We're bricklayers. Go lay some bricks. It's a good workout too if you're laying bricks. All right, we'll take some questions. Let's get into it. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We'll give away the Swole card at the end of today's episode. Make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. And of course, leave us a review on Apple Podcast, on Spotify. Anywhere you bang your ear holes, you can also watch the video on Spotify as well. Leave us 5 stars if you enjoy the show. And check all the links in the show notes for the live stream links, for joining the Swole fam, for apparel. Everything is in the description. We put it all down there. That way you have it at your convenience. Let's see a little Tainty Man. We got the Tainty Boy. Tainty Boy is, I don't know, eating his foot or something similar. Very nice. All right, let's take the first question. Tyler, how do you feel about daylight savings starting today? I think daylight savings is retarded. It's nonsense. I don't understand why it occurs, why it still occurs. I knew at one point, I looked it up, why it was started, and I just don't see the point. So I didn't know until I woke up, and fortunately, I will say, fortunately, phones and things like that automatically update. So I looked at my phone, got the time. It didn't seem accurate because I felt like I got up earlier. And then I noticed the stove and the microwave times were off. And then I vaguely remember someone saying daylight savings. I'm like, shit. All right. So then I changed those. So yeah, you lose an hour or whatever. I think it's nonsense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just keep it the same. Just keep it the same. Keep it the same. To the moon now. Jiao Jim Jiao. Bencho Jim Jiao was so unexpected. Loved it. Love from India. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. Caught some people off guard. Caught about 1 billion people off guard. Now the entirety of India is going to the gym, right? Everyone's swole. Everyone's getting yoked in India now, right? My job here is done. Just saw a question before. All right. Jay Chatham. Hey, Pop, I'm on week 4 of the 90-day dash. You could drop your questions. Any questions that you have. We'll take some live questions, too. Calls. We got one or couple calls. I'm on week 4 of the 90-day dash and feeling great. I do need to start running for military training and SWAT school. Any suggestions on how to work the running in? I would do them on... You have to figure out what works best for you, but I would generally do that maybe on the Swolga days, on a non-resistance training day. Anytime you add in a new stress, I don't know if you've been doing running for a while, but you want to build into that slowly and consistently. So doing it every other day for a lower volume. I don't know what you actually get tested on or how long you have to run, but I would recommend doing it on a non-resistance training day. Just my personal take on it. I also wouldn't run before a weight training session. Or what you can do is split it up. If you run early in the morning and lift in the afternoon, or lift earlier in the day and go running later in the evening. Maybe you have a schedule like that. So I think it really depends. So you can split up different types of training protocols if you give them enough time, for your body enough time to kind of recover and settle down between workouts. If you're doing 2 a days, but it really depends on the application. So I wouldn't necessarily say you need to do 2 weight training days, but if you're doing a conditioning workout or something where you're doing some kind of cardiovascular like running or swimming or biking, it's a good idea generally to split it up. Yeah, I knew it was for farmers. I just forget exactly the logic. Daylight savings was for the farmers, but since there are hardly any farmers left, let's just do it away with it. Well, as long as, you're farming corn and soy. So I'm a corn farmer. I'm a soy farmer. All right, Stormy, what size of your shirts do you wear? Large or extra large, depending on my mood. But most of the shirts and stuff I wear are large. They fit great. Nice and tight, but not too tight. It's hard sometimes. It's hard when you build muscle and you have muscular shape. It's better now. Most shirts, or I shouldn't say most shirts, but a lot of shirts now are cut better because a lot more people go to the gym. A lot more people are obese, but a lot more people go to the gym. So it's normal or more normal now to have a smaller waist and then pants that fit you better, just because people that squat and that lift aren't going to have big legs and a big gut. It doesn't always, that's if you're not training, if you're just fat. How come you ask? Are you looking to purchase a shirt from someone that you know or for yourself? All right, let's see. Let's take some more questions. Yeah, daylight savings. It's a bummer to lose an hour, but, it's a beautiful day today. So that's the most important thing. But for me, I'm the kind of person that I want to get up early. I don't want to fall behind in the day. I like to get up early and then I see the clock and I want to get the show done in the morning. I want to get stuff done that I need to get done. And losing an hour was not a fan of that today, but it's all right. Any words of wisdom for dealing with a family member with victim mentality who contributes nothing but consumes everything and demands we all cater to them and use mental health as an excuse? Jesus Christ. Well, kind of hard to answer this question just without knowing any context aside, because unfortunately, that's a pretty generic thing. That's a very common thing. You can't feed into that. You can't facilitate that. The problem with families is that everyone's codependent, and a lot of times, whether it's a mother or a father or something like that, you have the entire family making excuses for them. So whether you need an intervention, whether you need to step up and say something, it's usually going to be taken as, oh, you're attacking me. Words are violence. You're so mean. Oh, how could you do this to me? Blah, blah, blah. It's probably not going to do anything. Obviously, it doesn't sound like this individual is interested in self-improvement. They need to work on their own baggage. They need to work on themselves. And if they're not going to, you need to remove yourself from that situation. Just my thoughts. Get away. Papa Swolio, 1.5 miles for the military SWAT school is really just running nonstop for 2 weeks. Thanks for the help. You're welcome. So it's not that far. A mile and a half. It's really not that far. Once you start getting into the running, if you're obviously you're probably generally fit if you're going to be going that route. So good for you. I think you'll find it just fine. All right. Let's see. Stormy, I got the signature series yesterday and I'm 6'180", and I ordered a medium tank because I wasn't sure how they ran. So I was curious about you because I'm assuming you're bigger than I am. I'm not, I'm under 6 feet and I'm like 210. So medium, I think that all comes down to like the length of the tank. I mean, I wear a large or an extra large. So if you want to change it, if anyone else is like 6'180", so you're thinner than I am just because of your weight and your height. So if anyone else is around this height, you might, I don't know, what size do you normally wear? You might want a large. I'm not sure if you're looking to bulk or if you're packing on a little bit more size. But you can think about it a little bit, but just send us an email if you're thinking about adjusting the size. Tyler, you think they run big? Tyler says a medium looks like a large. I should have got a small tank. That's hard to say, right? Because of the whole missizing that we have now in terms of clothing. Because people are so overweight and so unhealthy that a medium is now for bigger people. So the average person is bigger. So a medium is now a large. I haven't noticed too much of a difference in terms of shirts. I kind of go around the same, I suppose. I think they're pretty true to size from my experience. The tanks run big. See, not in my experience at all. They run just fine. It's all opinion. It's all opinion. You know, someone will say they run small. Some other people will say they run big. So it seems like it's pretty opinionated. Yeah, I find they're pretty damn accurate. But I guess it's opinion. It's what your experience is when it comes to clothing. If you're used to wearing a certain size from a certain company, then it'll seem bigger or smaller to you, I suppose. All right. If you want to call in, if you want to submit a question, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. And of course, if you want to call in, you can go to askpapaswolio.com. Let's take this one's from Aryan Ahmed. I have 2 calls, so I don't know if they're the same one, but we'll hit this first one first.
I'm a big fan of you.
Much appreciated. I like you. You know what that reminded me of? We'll hit this other one too, but it reminded me of like old Greg. Remember old Greg 10 or 11 years ago on YouTube? I like you. I hate you. I like you. I want to hurt you. I like you. I need some old Greg sounds. I'm a huge fan of you. I like you. I want to eat you. I want to keep you in my little cave forever. All right. We have another call here. I don't know if this is the same one or maybe that was the first part, like one of 2. Let's see this.
How do I start to bulk? I mean, bulk successfully. I've been bulking for the last 4 to 5 months and I've been eating between 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day, which is above my maintenance, which was about 1,500 to 1,800 regularly pre-bulk. And I've only gained about, 4 kilos in 5 months-ish, I guess. And it's not really working out too well. And most of it's going to my stomach, not really distributed all throughout my body.
All right. Tough question. Because I couldn't pick up on all the details, all the numbers. It's just hard to. But the fundamental thing that I heard, you're trying to bulk, but it sounded like that was a huge range. When you say I'm bulking, I'm eating anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 calories. I'll tell you right now, that's not how you bulk because a couple hundred calories makes a huge difference. So not every calorie is created equal. A calorie is not a calorie. It depends on the food quality, where it's coming from, what the food is made of. I would focus on more protein. You need to get much more specific and much more structure with what you're eating. You can't have a range of 2,000 to 3,000 calories because it's not consistent enough. So you need to be eating 2,500, for example, but whether you feel like it or not, you need to eat that amount of food. So you can't have a range that's inconsistent like that. Your body has to have the tools needed to repair tissue readily available. I'm not sure where you're from or what foods you're eating, but eat more protein. Get in some grass-fed beef if you can, some kinds of steak, ground beef. If you have to, you can go with eggs. You could do chicken or fish, but I prefer beef or buffalo or wild game if you have access to it. And make sure you're getting in sufficient protein, lifting heavy. 4 or 5 months, yeah, it's a good amount of time for bulking, but at the same time, if you're not doing it properly, then it's okay that you're doing it for 4 or 5 months and not seeing the results that you want. It's just, it's normal to not get results. It's normal for it to be difficult. It's not supposed to come easily. So just make sure that you are being relentless. I tried to bulk for a year or so, and I didn't do it properly. I was eating the wrong foods. I wasn't doing it properly, and I didn't get the results I wanted. So you need to eat frequently. You need to eat sufficient calories, eat sufficient protein, train really hard, lift heavy weights, get quality sleep, all these things. So just make sure you're getting a lot more nitty gritty. I'm not a big fan of counting calories, but of course I always say it's important if you have objective goals and you're really trying, like your goal is to put on muscle, that you need to objectively eat enough food. And if you're not, then you're not going to put on size. So as much as I say, don't worry about, it's not the most important thing. I think when people start training and start lifting, they need to focus on eating quality food first and not worry about gaining or losing weight, not worried about the details. You need to focus on those good habits of cooking the right foods and figuring out what foods work best for you. And then after that, then you can get more granular. Hey, I want to put on some weight. Okay, you know what foods work best for you. Eat more of those. And then you could objectively eat those foods in greater quantities. A lot of people just go for the calorie counting before they focus on the food quality. And that's, in my opinion, the fundamental problem is people focus on the number first. And that's most people want to lose body fat. Most people want to lose body fat and overall mass. And that's going to come much more quickly by setting better habits, by getting rid of those addictive behaviors, by getting rid of those addictive, compulsive eating habits and that kind of hyper novelty on the palate, by focusing on food quality first. So if you're trying to lose fat and lose overall mass, you have a lot of extra weight to lose, or even 10, 20, 30 pounds, you're just fat, skinny fat, you need to make sure that you are eating food quality first, much more important than food quantity as your approach. And I agree with this comment from StoneFit. The numbers are nonsense anyway. If you're not gaining weight or muscle, you need to eat more. It's very objectively true. So if you're eating 2,000 calories, like I'm not gaining enough size, then guess what? It's not enough. I'm eating 2,500 calories a day. Are you really? Are you actually eating that? Are you getting enough protein? Are you doing these things? And if you're not, then you need to eat more. People underestimate how much you have to eat. Remember, you're going to feel full. You're going to be eating when you feel full. It's not easy to bulk. It's not comfortable to bulk. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun time. If you're using an excuse to eat shit and like, oh, I get to eat all these foods I want. Yeah, you're going to get fat too. But it's not enjoyable. Bulking is not enjoyable. If you're eating nutrient-dense food, it's not enjoyable. It's not supposed to be enjoyable. Okay? Understand that. It's not supposed to be enjoyable. If you're using it as an excuse to eat garbage food, then of course you have psychological addiction. You're getting this brain ejaculate from eating cookies and donuts all the time, but you're going to get fat too. But it's not fun. It's not fun to eat when you're full and you feel like you're going to throw up if you have another bite and you have to eat like 4 more ounces of steak and half a sweet potato. It's disgusting. It's miserable. Just keep that in mind. If you're not miserable, then you're probably not bulking. All right. This is from my experience and, doing it with quality food. It's hard. Ortiz, yeah, got close extended family. What's close extended family? Is it extended or it's not? What's a close extended family? Like a cousin? I got close extended family who don't want to work or do anything but spend money and go out, but use anxiety, depression, old injuries as excuses for their attitude, but ask for help. Don't give them help. They don't really want help. That's the annoying stuff. When they ask for help, you give them help, and then they make excuses. No, that's just you just got to remove yourself from that. You got to distance yourself. These are toxic people. As much as are there things that they can do? Yeah, but there's nothing that you can do. That's the thing. There's nothing that you can do. This is about them as an individual. This is the stuff. What you are seeing is the work that they have left undone. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of their person, their mental issues, their baggage. So you can't do it for them. And the only thing that you can do is just distance yourself. Be unavailable. Be busy. Don't use your precious, invaluable, irreplaceable time and attention on people that aren't listening. So how does this affect you? In other words, how does this affect you? How is this becoming a factor? Are you living with these people? What are these interactions? Because it's going to start rubbing off on you. Yeah, that's a good, especially if they're passive aggressive or they're playing the victim. Loretta's dead on with this. If you're not careful, they will blame you when things go south. If you give them a nutritional protocol and they fail because they don't do it right, they're going to blame you or be like, oh, it doesn't work. A lot of times people like this because it gives them leverage to criticize the help that you gave. That's fucked up shit. Loretta's right on with that. That's definitely a possibility. Saying, do you enjoy outdoor activities such as hiking, camping, hunting, or fishing? I like those things. I don't do them often, but I've done a good bit of hiking and stuff like that. Haven't done that kind of stuff in a while. Fishing, it doesn't. I've gone fishing. It doesn't float my boat really. I like to do things. I'd rather go hiking or something like that. Sit around and wait for a fish to, just never really caught my interest. But yeah, outdoor stuff, sure. Let's see here. Matt the Gray, camping is just cosplaying homeless. Fuck that shit. All right. Well, I mean, I see on TikTok sometimes, I'll open up the app and I'll see some of that glamping stuff where someone has a truck and they set up this, they're like camping in the rain, and they set up this tent on the back of their truck. And at the end of the video, they've cooked a 5-course meal. They have a whole bed in there, a flat screen TV. And it's just like, well, that's not camping. That's just living outside. In my opinion, if you're going out camping, you're not bringing a projector screen and TV. It's like, go camping. Just get rid of it. It's fucking crazy. All right. Let's see. Julian, I stopped giving my family nutrition advice because they never stick to it. It's tough because it starts getting you start resenting them because you'll give them help or you spend time or they'll listen to you for an hour. You'll help them go grocery shopping and you'll give them the whole breakdown or you show them a yoga class. You put all this effort in and then they just go back to their normal ways and they just don't care. It just builds up resentment over time. You can't take it personal, but I would not go out of your way to help or to do anything with anyone. Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can give them all the information. You could tell them, hey, read this book. Hey, read Estrogeneration. Hey, read this carnivore book, or check out the Nutrition Jumpstart. Check out the 7 Pillars. Hey, check out this ebook. It doesn't mean that sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes people want information. They're actually going to execute on it. But most times it's not. That's a rare person that realizes that they have control, that it's their fault, their responsibility, and they actually take action. Most people don't take action. Most people don't, right? Ortiz, large Mexican families are tight-knit, so if you don't cater to them, the rest call you the asshole and insensitive, so it's a cultural thing. Well, look. Okay. Doesn't mean you can't be an individual. Being Mexican isn't your identity. Don't let it be your identity. That's not who you are. And I'm not telling you to leave or ignore your family, but it sounds like they're toxic people. Just saying. Just saying. A lot of people are holding on to this large Mexican. That's not you. That's not who you are. That's not what you are. You can pick your friends. You can't pick your family. You just need to make sure you make choices that distance yourself from that kind of toxicity. And you know, when you step outside, I'm not telling you to ignore your family or whatever, but this is just my take on it because I can't stand that mentality. People calling you an asshole, when you walk your own path, when you approach things from a unique standpoint, when you make choices and decisions and you think critically for yourself, there's a lot of loneliness that can be associated with that because most people aren't going to think that way. Most people aren't going to make the choices that you do. So you have to be secure in yourself that making those decisions is the right path for you. And it's something that's true to you and you know why you're doing what you're doing. And if other people want to call you, let them call you what they're going to call you. This is why a lot of people get dragged back in because it's family. Because someone's brother fucked someone else and they were related to your parents. And it just starts to get like, why would you care about, like, why should that person hold sway over your stress levels, you know, or your wellness? Because it's obviously a concern for you. You're wondering like how to deal with people that are just full of shit is what you're saying. The problem is these people that are full of shit had sex with people that are related to other people that you're related to. Just some thoughts from a different perspective. You want to surround yourself with positive people that are moving in the same direction. Otherwise, it's slowing you down. Let's see. Will, Papa Swolio, do you prefer to fast at a resistance training or do you eat anything before you work out? I don't really eat anything before I train. Sometimes I train in the morning. A lot of times I'll train after the show in the afternoon because I like it's more midday sun and I like to do the show and know that we had a good show, answer questions, and that's a top priority for me every day. So I like to do that. I kind of go back and forth between training first and doing the show first, but I like having the show out of the way, making sure that's up because the earlier that we do the show, the more people can like listen to it throughout the day and stay up to date and all that stuff. So point being is afterwards, like today I had some kefir. I do like not eating first thing in the morning, but I also like having kefir. I love starting the day with some kefir is great. I love that getting into my system. And I had a little raw cream in my coffee. So before I work out, I'll probably either not have anything or maybe a tablespoon or two or some raw honey or something like that. So immediately before a workout, I would rather than eat and then digest and then train, I would rather fast and if anything, no food or something like some raw honey. Something that may give me a little bit of energy, but it's not going to be something that's really sitting in my stomach, like a steak or something like that. Plus, in the middle of a workout, I train at home, so in the middle of a workout, I feel like I'm kind of crashing a little bit. I go in the kitchen, take a nice tablespoon of raw honey, boom, go back to work. It's something that really gets in there quickly, too. Okay, let's see here. Let's take another call from Matthew. Matthew, you're on the line. Daily Sleaze, baby.
Hi, I would like to ask about me starting a gym. I'm a teen and I'm kind of scared or nervous to go on my own to the gym. So I don't know which things I should use, what muscles I should train, just things like that. If you could answer that, it would really help me out. Thank you.
Would you say you're a dean? So you were saying starting a gym, you mean your home gym. At first I thought you were talking about opening a gym. So a home gym, what you should do. We talked about this in like an episode yesterday or the day before, so I would check out those episodes too, but it depends on a couple things. Home gym stuff, it depends on how much you have to spend, how much space you have, and what you're trying to accomplish. There might be something else there. I haven't really spent a ton of time thinking about this, but when it comes to any kind of equipment, what are you trying to achieve? If you're trying to improve cardiovascular capacity because you're trying to run a marathon, then your training is going to be differently focused than if you're trying to put on 20 pounds of muscle. Got it? So what your experience is, of course, equipment or gym stuff is going to cost money. So how much money do you have to spend? How much space? If you have a lot of space, if you have a big garage and you have money is not an object, then you can literally get any piece of equipment. So then you have a lot more choices. If you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of space, then your choices are more limited, which can be a good thing to start, because then you don't get like, paralysis by analysis. You don't have, oh, I can get this rack from this company and this rack. And that's a good problem to have. A lot of people say, oh, I wish I had that problem. At the same time, if you don't have a lot of space, you could just focus on some really effective tools and you won't have to worry about, there won't be that much time of research trying to figure out what to get. So I would look for Facebook Marketplace. OfferUp is great. Kettlebells, squat rack, barbell, plates, adjustable dumbbells. I mean, the standard things. You can get maces and clubs. And the great thing is a lot of the things that I'm really passionate about, kettlebells, maces, clubs, they don't take up a lot of space unless you have a lot of them, but they don't take up a lot of space. You could lean them against the wall. Clubs and maces don't take up a lot of space. You could just lean them in the corner. Kettlebells don't take up a lot of space. You only need a few. I have a whole set, but you don't need a whole set. You can just get a few of them that hit different weight ranges depending on the exercise. So there's a lot of variability. Things like a squat rack and barbell, in the big scheme of things, they don't take up a lot of space, but if you have an apartment or tight areas or low ceilings, you just need certain options. So you have to invest more getting a barbell with weights and a rack going rather than just jumping right into kettlebells and things like that, if that helps you. So I need more information specifically. That was just kind of like, hey, I want to start going to the gym or starting a home gym and not really, just need a little more detail to give you some specific answers. Okay. Good questions. Saiyan Zero, Papa Swolio, do you have heavier volume weight days or do you train relatively the same from day to day? And do you carb up to fuel your heavier workouts? No, I don't do any kind of carb loading, but yes, are there certain days where I'll train heavier than others? Sure. And I don't do a split that focuses me into certain things. Meaning I take an extra day off from resistance training. What I call resistance training, I don't call club stuff resistance training. So if I still feel a little bit tight and maybe the schedule, like, oh, I just don't have the mental focus or the time or whatever happens during the day. Because if I'm doing resistance training, I really want to be focused. I want to be like in the zone. If there's a lot of stuff going on, like, oh, I'm going to get my workout in. Okay, I'm going to do, let's say it gets a little bit later in the day, in the afternoon. I want to work out, but I don't have enough time to necessarily do everything I would want to do. I could just push it off to the next day. One day is not going to matter. If I do my chest and triceps or a big push day, I don't have to cut it short and I could just do it tomorrow. And then today I could do some club work for 15, 20 minutes and just do some continuous club and swinging, which is going to work my upper body great. It's going to do awesome. So there's definitely that. So if I don't feel like going super heavy, if I feel like I haven't recovered, if there's I've been training for so long, if there's just that feeling of, I don't want to push it super heavy today. It's not like I'm going to max out on incline press. It's not one of those days. Then I'll do maybe some club work or mace work or maybe some kettlebell stuff. So yeah, I absolutely do. And I'll call an audible too. What I don't do anymore is, okay, today is this day. So I'm doing chest. And then what if like my elbow is a little bit tight? Like, okay, but I'm doing this anyway. I don't restrict myself or box myself in where I have to do a certain protocol because that's what's on the schedule. I don't do that. I pivot things around if I need to. So I definitely do heavier days and I'll go back and forth. Sometimes I'll do a lower body mobility day. Yesterday was a leg day, but I was still kind of sore and tight. So I just did mobility rather than going. So a mobility day is kind of like a light leg day, but I still push it, but I'm doing different movements. I'm going through a full range of motion. So I'm not going super, super heavy, but I'm definitely pushing myself, but it's in a different modality. It's like full stretches, full range of motion. So I'll definitely pivot and adjust. And yeah, of course, some days are going to be super heavy and some days are going to be more different. Sometimes I'll do a leg day that's more quad focused and I'll really push it. And some days I'll do both. I'll do some, glutes, I'll do hamstrings and I'll do quads, or I'll do a squat day. So if I'm doing maybe a heavy compound day, I really feel like doing squats today. It's like, cool, that today's a big squat day. I don't always do the same type of squats. I don't always do back squats or front squats. Sometimes I'll do the hack squat machine. Sometimes I'll do a different thing. Sometimes I just really want to go heavy, and so I pivot and do it like that. Sometimes I want to push my legs hard. I always do, but sometimes I want to push my legs hard, but it's not a squat day for going hard. It's not a heavy squat day because that's very overloading. Physiologically, heavy squats, that takes a lot out of me. It should take a lot out of you if you're pushing them hard. So, but I do different types of squats. I'll do different types of, there's the hack squats, there's sissy squats. There's a lot of different ways you can hit the same muscles. There's a lot of different ways you can hit that movement. What? Don't give me shit. Don't look at me like that. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Why is everyone awake today? Why is everyone awake? What's going on here? So today, like every day is going to be every day is going to be a workout day. So that's the thing. Every day is going to be a workout day. And then I have these little Lego blocks, or it's kind of like, when you have the cups and where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Or where's the card? Where's the card? You're flipping the cards around, like 3 card or Monty, whatever you call it. You're sliding it around, find the ball, find the ball. Those little hustlers on the side of the street. So if it's a lower body day or upper body day, I'll do some sled work. If I just kind of feel like, I want to train, but I'm not, sometimes it gets me going. So I'll do some sled. I'll do a pass for the reverse sled just to get some blood flowing and get out in the sun and start moving. And then I'll grab a light club because worst comes to worst, which is not really the worst. I just do a little mobility. I do some club work and get the joints moving and do some dead hangs and maybe some stretching, sauna, cold plunge. That's fine. And then tomorrow I crush it hard. So I'm also aware too, is when you get older, you're training to keep the clock and slow the clock down. I've been training for over 20 years. It's a lot of wear. It's a lot of tear. And at this point in my life, you never want to think like and act like, well, I'm getting old, so I'm going to start taking it easy. No, but you have to logically understand that it's going to take longer. A hard workout now takes a lot more out of me than it did 20 years ago, obviously, right? So I'm much more mindful of the volume and the intensity. So I'll train hard, but I, on purpose, cut down on the volume. So I'll give myself, okay, you have 2 sets of going hard, depending on how many sets I'm doing and what exercise, but I'll limit myself and be like, all right, you have X amount of sets. I'll cap it. That way I have to really work hard for less volume. So I can keep the intensity high, which is important, but the overall volume I'm not going to be doing 30 or 40 sets. So the overall volume because I like to train more frequently. I like to train more often. So for example, today I am lifting today. I am training today. What am I doing? Well, when's the last time I did X body part? How do I feel? What's going on? I'll kind of warm up and then gauge it. And then, okay, today is going to be a club day, or I'm just going to do club today and I'll lift heavy and I'll do focused on, heavy push day tomorrow. Or I'll kind of warm up. Cool. I'm going to crush it. And then I'll go heavy. So I kind of use the warm up as a gauge. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force myself to go through an intense, heavy workout. Not just because I don't feel like it, but if I just don't feel that I've recovered enough, because if I'm compromised, that just increases my risk of injury. So I'm still training whether or not I feel like it, but there's other things I can work on. If I really feel tight and I don't have that kind of strength intensity in me, I'll do mobility and I'll do some endurance and joint work and circular training, club and mace, and I'll still make a lot of progress and it'll be great and I'll get invigorated and I'll have a good pump and I'll get a good sweat going and I'll feel awesome tomorrow. So it's just pivoting where I'm putting my focus. That was a long answer, but I feel like there's a lot of, you'll find a lot of good gems in there. And that's just something that I've learned over time. But of course, my goals now, I'm not trying to put on 10 or 15 pounds of muscle. So I'm about 205 to 210. I'm not being 215 or 220. That's not something that I think would look good on me at my height. It's just not, I don't need to pack on 10 pounds of muscle, maybe a couple here and there and refining in strength. But, it gets to a point where, all right, unless I'm trying to look like a fucking cartoon character, And once you get too big, you overbulk or you get too big for your size, it will start affecting your joints. You start feeling heavy. And I've been a little bit bigger. I've been heavier on my body, on my joints. You just want to feel comfortable. You want to feel comfortable. You want to be able to move. Feels good. You got to find what works best for you. And as you can tell, I've been training for most of my life. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm still playing around with it. I still adjust. I still tweak. And I still focus on different things. So you have to give yourself the opportunity. And we talked about this in accountability meeting roundtable weeks and weeks ago. We called it Raise the Floor. You just need to shift your focus as to what fulfills you from training. And this is why when we talk about deadlifts, I think it was yesterday, when people say, oh, I love deadlifts, I don't like deadlifts. And I say they're overrated in some cases, but it's really just a tool. I think they're just properly rated. I think deadlifts are a great exercise, but I think it serves a specific purpose, and it's not as universal. It's not as foundational as a lot of people will make it out to be, as to be like a standard all the time. There's a lot of different ways to work those muscles and posterior chain and functional movements that can be less risk, greater reward for many people. So it depends on how it's used. It's just important to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and calling audibles when it's required, and just adjusting as you go through. You're going to learn how these movements, certain movements that I didn't do 15 years ago, I either wish I did or are better for me now than they were then. There are a lot of exercise that I did just for like raw bulk, and I'm training differently now because my goals are different. You have to give yourself the ability to refocus and change and get pleasure and satisfaction from executing the workout period, regardless of what the workout is. And it doesn't mean that you are satisfied with average. It doesn't mean that you are not pushing hard. So, just because I worked out today, that's good enough. No, it doesn't mean you don't push. It doesn't mean you don't push hard. It just means that you get more satisfaction and you put more weight psychologically on improving mobility, on challenging yourself in different ways, not just putting another 5 pounds on a deadlift bar. So a lot of people only get satisfied when they see their squat go up 5 pounds. Or my bench, hey, I finally hit this number. I finally hit 265 instead of 260 on a bench. Whoa. Okay, that's cool. But it's not that rewarding. What's much more rewarding is that you improve your mobility and decrease your knee pain, or there are other things, is my point. There are other things that will have a much better risk reward ratio. And just putting on a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more weight, whether it's body weight or that, it's just, there's a point of diminishing returns and it comes up pretty quickly. And I know that I'm not going to be deadlifting or squatting or going that fucking heavy for the rest of my life. It's just not going to, it's not going to continue forever. Subjectively going to go down. So I need to get my satisfaction elsewhere. And I'm just shifting that earlier. Doesn't mean I don't train for strength. Doesn't mean I don't want to build muscle. And I just don't like the word maintain. So you still want to train hard, but you just got to shift what satisfies you and where you get your value. Papa Swolio from Nancy from the Telegram chat. I'm meal prepping for my 13-year-old son for the week because of his age. Should he consume anything additionally besides red meat and fruit? I was going to give him rice and sweet potatoes as well. Do you think he needs some more carbs since he's younger? Not necessarily, but you can give him some. There's nothing wrong with some sweet potatoes and rice as long as he's getting in his, proteins and fats and stuff. He's getting carbs from the fruit too. Yeah, he's 13 years old, so he can handle more. But as long as he's getting enough protein and you can fill in the gaps with carbs and things like that afterwards, it really depends on the individual. I've eaten so many sweet potatoes. I haven't had sweet potatoes in a year? Months. Might have been a year at this point. I just haven't had any. I feel great without them. I might have a sweet potato soon just to see how I feel. But I haven't had them in a long time. I used to eat them every fucking day. I used to eat sweet potatoes all the time. I just haven't had them in a while, and I just feel so good. I'm like, oh, should I have one? So I get to this point where I haven't had one in a while, and then I just don't have any. It's like, well, I might not need to take it to that level, but I haven't had any. I might try another one soon. Yeah, I just feel great without them. It's like bringing it back. If I did, it'd be small. It'd be like half of one. I wouldn't be like pounding them. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm really missing anything. For a reason. I just don't feel, I feel great without it. So who knows? Maybe I'll have one and it'll hit me in a great way. So we'll see. Rocky, you're on the line.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, and I was wondering what nutrition plan should I follow?
Thanks for the call. Everyone's like, question, what nutrition plan? Check out my content. Go to swolenormersex.com, download the 7 pillars, check out the elimination diet, learn about food quality. Go to the blog on the website, learn about the elimination diet, Google Swolenormous and elimination diet. We talked about it thousands of times, but that's where you should start. Everyone should start with an elimination diet. So there you go. Thanks for the call, Rocky. Appreciate it. And feel free to call back in with some more details. Elimination diet is where people should start. And the reason why elimination diet is because that's what is going to teach you what foods work best for your body. A lot of people just, rather than just, should I eat this? Or what about vegetables? And just because I'm not a fan, and I've eaten them for so many years and I've removed them and I feel better than ever. Doesn't mean that you can't. I just think a lot of people will benefit much more from not consuming them or from being very, very cautious and cooking them properly and testing things. And most people aren't deliberate and testing, and they're not as meticulous as I am, and they don't care as much. So I understand that as well. But, once you start feeling really good and you start performing better and doing better for yourself, a lot of times people want better. So a lot of times people need to make that first initial progress and then they get hooked on it. Oh my God, it actually does work. I am seeing results. Ooh, what happens if I put in a little bit more effort? What happens if I do this a little bit more? What happens if I kind of push the envelope a little bit more? And then you see even more progress. So sometimes you just need that taste. Sometimes you just need that taste of results. But a lot of people don't even get to that point. They don't even get to the point where they get that taste. Matt the Great, eat nothing but carrots to lose weight.
Matt Damon.
All right. I am running for president in 2024 on the anti-carrot platform. I think carrots can be removed from the planet and to everyone's benefit. So no carrots 2024. The anti-carrot platform. Fuck the rabbits. They won't let us test body lotions, not tested on animals. You ever see that on the back of these products? I joke with Mama Swolio all the time. It says no animal testing and it has a little symbol of the rabbit with a line through it. And I'm thinking, I am an animal. You should be testing the fuck out of these things on animals. No animal testing. Test them on animals. What are you talking about? You haven't tested this on... I look at that. Wait a second. You haven't tested this product on any animals? Then why would I put it on my body? No, test it on animals. Test the fuck out of them on animals. Just coat animals with it. Let me know what happens. If nothing happens, I'll try it. I'm not going to try something that's not tested on animals. Oh my God. That's a no-go for me. That's a deal breaker. Not tested on animals.
Come on, man.
I don't trust that. I don't trust that shit. Will, Papa Swolio, when doing a back workout, what exercises build back width versus thickness, or is there much of a difference? Yeah, there is. I mean, it depends on really the angle. The lats are really great for width. I mean, you can get some thickness with the lats too, but the lats are great for that width, doing kneeling lat pull downs or those pull down machines from like a 75, 80 degree angle. Those are fantastic. Straight arm pull downs and pullovers are great for width, wide grip pull ups and things like that. Give you that upper body, the upper width. But in terms of like thickness, rows, if you really want to build a thick back, deadlifts, rows are great. Any kind of rows, high rows, low rows, T-bar rows, using a landmine, chest supported rows, seal rows. A lot of these things just have a ton of variation. You can, handle like this. It's really about where your elbows are relative and your pulling angle. So if you go from like a higher pulling angle, it's going to hit more of your lats. It also depends on like your retraction. If you're going all the way back, it'll hit middle traps and rhomboids and stuff more. So, the lats will do extension of the shoulder, also do some adduction. So getting like a wide grip with certain angles will hit the lats. So lats are generally more for width, but they still, you still get some thickness from that. And if you really want a thick back, rows. If you're doing some sorts of like pull downs or high pull for the lats, pull-ups are great. Just don't like put your legs back and arch your back a lot. Push your feet straight and forward. That way you're getting a good pull. If you're going straight up, you're not really getting your back as much. If you're getting a slight angle with your pull-ups with your legs straight in front of you, like you're doing a ring pull-up, you'll really get that good lat angle. And of course, there's different grip positions where you push your elbows in. You could put rings up and get a nice angle for doing a pull-up, or use some D handles or things like that, or use a more neutral grip. So when I do back, I usually do some sort of one or two. I usually do like a rowing movement, and I'll do like a pulling movement. So I usually do pull-ups. I'll do chest supported rows, maybe some back extensions, and like a high pull down. And that's it for back. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. I haven't done a lot of barbell rows lately, but I would do like chest supported rows. I just got and plus this happens when you have a home gym and you get a new piece of equipment. You use that for a little bit, and that's like the thing that I use more frequently, and then I'll shift back to some other things. But you don't need a lot of variety. You can mix it up. So when it comes to variety, a lot of times people will do this outlandish, all these different movements. I will just do some variety within a certain parameter. So I'll do a barbell row, or a chest supported row with dumbbells, or chest supported row with a barbell, or one arm dumbbell rows. It's pretty much the same thing, just a slight different stimulus. So it's a row. So, and I have a ISO hammer strength row in the backyard machine. So it depends on what I feel. But in other words, I'm doing a row movement, one or two, and then it just matters what the angle is. So you just want to hit it from different angles. You want to make sure you cover that. But Papa, carrots help with eyesight. So does beef liver. Eat yourself some beef liver. Fuck the carrots. Fuck the carrots. Sounds like Bubba Gump talking about shrimp. Ain't that right?
Lieutenant Dan.
All right, let's see. We're about to wrap up. We'll take one or two more questions. Remember, hashtag laying bricks for a chance to win today's Swole card. And look at the Tainty Man. Aww. All right, he's out. Steven, is there anything other than gluten that can take a long time to get out of your system? I read gluten can take 6 months to get out of your system fully. I don't know about that. I don't know if it takes 6 months, maybe. I don't have any information in my brain right now of how long it takes to get out. But there are a lot of things. I mean, the foods that you're consuming, there could be heavy metals, there could be all sorts of things, but your body will detox most things. You don't necessarily need to like eat charcoal and do those kinds of things that can cleanse out your system. I mean, some of that stuff is just, it's not harmful. Maybe it could be beneficial, but just changing your diet, changing your nutrition over time. Your body, all your cells change out over time, but there are certain things that you might be exposed to that might build up in the body. If there's like heavy metals and things like that, there could be things that don't clean out, like other things. So yeah, I'm not surprised if that's the case. I don't know if that's accurate. Can anyone else confirm that? I don't know if it's 6 months. It would make sense. It's not instantaneous. This is why when people do an elimination or they do a little diet and it's like a couple weeks, like I'm not seeing results yet. It takes months. Sometimes it takes years for people to repair their gut, for your cells to change over, for you to reduce chronic inflammation because you're changing those habits. It takes time. Just because you stopped eating cake for 3 days doesn't mean you're going to make all these massive changes. Just think you've been eating garbage for 30 years. It takes time to undo the damage, if it's even possible. It takes a while. That's a great question. Matt, is it true that only the Tainty Man can? It is not only true, that's just straight fucking facts. Boom shakalaka! I mean, can't you tell? Look at him. Who else can? Tainty Man. Only you can. Rufus. Only the Tainty Man can. Hey, buddy. Is it true that only you can? It's true, right? It's true. Thought that was pretty obvious. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? I think we're good. We do have some Instagram questions, but we can leave them for emergencies. Maybe we'll take some on Tuesday. So tomorrow, fam, we have our Swole Fam accountability meeting at 12 noon. We got some new release. Oh, we got one. We have one release that I can't wait. It's going to be fucking sick. You guys are going to lose your mind. Maybe you won't. I'm losing my mind. It's one of those designs. It's one of those new apparel designs that I am when I get so excited, it's going to be good. It's one of those epic designs. It's one of those epic game changer designs. I love it. I can't wait. So we'll release it tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. If you're not a member, join now, swolenormousx.com. That way you can get access to all the private live streams. Last week's DWG, like I mentioned, the overtime segment, we don't have the full segment because there's an editing error. I know, technology. But we do have the Dragon Ball Gaining Uncensored, and you can watch that inside Swole TV. So we do have those edits and things like that. But make sure that you're there because this coming Friday is going to be awesome. Another overtime segment on Friday. Accountability meeting tomorrow. We have last Thursdays. This past Thursday, the roundtable is available in Swole TV. So we had a lot of stuff. It's been a big week. Plus a signature series. It was a big fucking week. Big week. Big week. Big week. Pedro, any hints about P3S6? No hints. No hints. What could it be? I don't know. What could it be?
How dare you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be. Just think, all of you know what it could be. All of you know what it is, but you don't know. Like when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh yes. Oh yes. It's gonna be awesome. So a lot of you have been waiting for this for a long time. You just can't picture what it is. But you want it. You want it. Trust me, you want it. I want it. Lugon. Do you ever use a membership meat provider? My brain just went right into the gutter. Because you want a meat membership? No, I don't have any memberships. I mean, some places that you order from online, even if they don't have a membership, they might have a subscription where if you automatically order something every week or two, they'll give you like 5% off. But I don't have any memberships for meat. I can't say that without laughing. Membership for meat. Meat membership. But you can do like a monthly. You can do a monthly for some places. Excellent. Meat provider, you say? Meat provider, you say? Yeah, subscription. Some of them have. I went there. Of course I went there. This whole podcast is built on the phallus. It's the entire podcast. We go balls deep, the knowledge cock, just the tip. That's pretty much what we do here. I went there. I've been going there. Been going there for years. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions at the buzzer? Let's see. We'll take some more of those. Remember, if you want to submit a question for Tuesday's show, we'll have a private member Q&A tomorrow during the live call, but head on over to askpapaswolio.com and submit a question. And you can call in. We'll get to more calls on Tuesday. And I think that's about it. Accountability meeting tomorrow. Good questions. Anyone else at the buzzer? The only show to go that deep. No show goes as deep as us. It's just facts. It's just science. It's just science.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Emotional damage.
Coke balls. That's right. We did it. Okay, let's get into the Swole cards. Give it away. Hashtag laying bricks. Laying bricks. Good one. I like that. It's a good card. Laying bricks. Laying bricks. Well, you're taking this one home. It's a good question, too, about the back workout. Will Beesing. Hashtag laying bricks. Congratulations, Will. Can I call you William? I think I will. All right, Will, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 25 Oshwam in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email will send you this fucking card. And guess what, fam? We'll take some soundboard requests right now. Don't nobody go nowhere. What sound do you want to hear?
The little rascal has spirit.
All right, great Mancast today. Thank you everyone for being here. Make sure you check the links in the description. SwoleNormaSX.com. Join the fam today and be there for tomorrow's accountability meeting. Best way to start off the week.
Hadouken!
And we're back here with some more Knowledge Cock on Tuesday, so submit your questions and be here for that. It's going to be awesome. Hope you have a great weekend. Antidepressants, I got you, T-Bone.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
All right, Matt wants another emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
I got you, fam. Congratulations, Will, on winning today's Swole card. Go make some gains.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here!
This house is a fucking prison on planet bullshit! A galaxy of this sucks camel dicks! Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Ah, boys have a penis. Good call. That's a good one.
Boys have a penis. Girls have a vagina.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
Oh, yeah.
I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you.
There are no more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
What is a best move between silence and woman?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
No hands. I got coast to coast. Almost clipped it. Very nice. Excellent. Let's get a little clap. We got diversity. We got a diversity call at the buzzer.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
All right, fam. Goated. Love today's episode. Good Q&A. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Share it with your friends. And appreciate your questions and best wishes with those that you care about, your families. Make sure that you stay focused, stay on point, and don't let people drag you down. Whether or not they're family, you need to focus on what you need to do, and don't let people suck and drain your life out of you. That's one of the most important things. So Papa didn't catch any Coke balls. Hey, I mean, come on.
Because
I don't need, I definitely don't drink Coke. I don't need more cock or balls. Like, I'm good. I don't need more. I appreciate the offer. I don't believe you people. I don't need more. I'm good.
What do you mean, you people?
Tyler didn't crank it up. It's a little bit hot in here. That's why. It's a little bit hot in here. I didn't, just trying to let it air out a little bit. God, I can't put anything past you guys. Sometimes you just want to hang free. I didn't want to crank it up. I just wanted to air it out a little bit. My God. All right, fam. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow at the accountability meeting. Be there 12 noon Eastern time, and have a great rest of your day. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no